Hello, I'm Joanna Chase, Bottle Therapy founder and pain coach. My vision is to stop the epidemic of unnecessary pain, and I'm starting with you. I want to empower you to become your body's best therapist. During this series called the 2-Minute Pain Fix, I will share with you everything you need to know about what scar tissue is and why it is most likely the root cause of your chronic pain, limited movement, a dependence on pain medications, including all natural supplements, and potentially your painful wait for surgery that might actually be unnecessary. Now, whether or not you need surgery, the only way to find out, like many of my deep tissue clients have found, is for you to set aside 5 consecutive days of 6 to 12 minutes per day to apply Bottle Therapy's techniques, treatment protocols, and formula. Each step will be spelled out for you in this free 2-Minute Pain Fix series. You have nothing to lose but possibly your life to gain back in taking a leap of faith. As a deep tissue therapist and pain coach, I'm continually finding new and improved approaches to restoring damaged, dysfunctional soft tissue and ensuring it remains as healthy and as functional as it can be. I don't take well to conclusions such as cause unknown or no treatment available as the end of the road. In fact, these roadblocks led to the creation of a self-therapy tool and technique that gave me the pain breakthrough and full body restoration that I had been seeking for almost 20 years. Now more than ever, the do-it-yourself mode of this game of life has just been supersized. And I'm hoping that the training provided in this 2-Minute Pain Fix series will expose your new superpower, reversing pain in your body. My goal is to empower individuals, therapists, families, sports teams with a new level of confidence in their ability to heal bodies from treatable and preventable conditions. Doing it yourself isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it's the only way we will be able to reverse our pain patterns in today's society. Our generation and our children's generation have the potential to stop the epidemic of unnecessary pain, unnecessary medication use, and unnecessary surgeries. My lifelong divine purpose is to provide the education needed to make this happen. And for such a time as this, you have been called to become your body's best therapist. Without further ado, I present to you the 2-Minute Pain Fix series by Bottle Therapy, so that you can live every day pain-free, because in my world, living in pain is not an option. Are you interested in learning how to treat many painful and annoying musculoskeletal and circulatory conditions head to toe from the comfort of your home? I'm talking about symptoms you might even be ignoring or dismissing, like locked joints or noisy joints that crack, click, and twang. What about serious symptoms like shallow breathing, temporary blindness in one eye, dizziness when bending over or exercising? Or maybe you're experiencing burning or tingling in your face, hands, or feet from neuropathy. Maybe you have one side of your face twitching, and after seeing specialists, you've been told your symptoms are untreatable. All you have to do is take some time to watch the video tutorials and follow along with Bottle Therapy's simple and safe 2-minute pain fix treatments. You'll learn the bottling technique and formula, which is the secret to breaking down scar tissue and adhesions in your fascia, releasing tension, muscle pain, stiffness, inflamed joints, and compressed blood vessels, nerves, and lymph nodes. Not all the treatments are self-reliant. Later in the series, you'll learn elbow therapy technique for the areas you can't reach, and this will require a family member or friend to assist. Elbow therapy treatments are typically 2 minutes, minimal effort, and convenient for your lovely assistant. Please don't skip ahead in this series because you will do yourself a disservice. Each episode builds on the information from the last and will be key to your potential recovery from whatever pain you are experiencing now or may experience in the future. Please keep this in mind as well when you're sharing the 2-Minute Pain Fix with your family or friends. Like you, I used to live in chronic pain daily. I've suffered most of the possible sports injuries known to athletic and clumsy children, along with the standard strains and sprains from playing high school basketball, university varsity women's soccer, snowboarding, skiing, snowmobiling, trampolining with my kids, The list of scar tissue formation goes on. Take a look at this list of treatable conditions by Bottle Therapy and notice the check marks that map out my pain journey. When I say my pain, your gain, I literally mean it. What I'm offering you is the condensed version of my experience and discoveries about what caused my pain, why other therapies were not successful, and how I restored my body and now live every day pain-free. It's like this. Imagine walking into the produce section of a grocery store and buying all of it. Then spending days blending it all up in your Vitamix and finally putting it through your juicer to extract the concentrate of nutrients. In this series, I'm blending up my 25 years of trying every form of chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage therapy, injections, even alternative medicine techniques. I'm flushing this information through my juicer, which is my logical brain, to come up with the solutions and formulas. I used my damaged body as a test lab and factored in my symptom relief, my experience, and all those of my deep tissue clients. What you're left with is the essential information and skills you'll need to know. In my opinion, you'll learn the most effective way to address your pain with the most efficient use of your time and resources.
Bottling is the fastest pain therapy that I've ever had, that I've ever tried. It works pretty much instantaneously.
With Bottle Therapy's formula and techniques, you can find out very quickly whether your pain is treatable or not. It's not rocket science, but there is a science to it. Before we get started, let's pause for a moment to note that this is a very brief training taken from the Bottle Therapy's handbook called Become Your Body's Best Therapist. If you find you're uncertain of terminology used in this video series, become studious. Take notes, Google it. That's right, you can Google terms, body charts, and anything that will help you better understand your body. Did you know that scar tissue is the root cause of many painful conditions? Let's review this list again. Arthritis, bunions, bursitis, migraines, plantar fasciitis, rotator cuff injuries, scoliosis, sciatica, tendinitis. It's an exhausting list. From my experience, these conditions are reversible, treatable, and preventable. When identifying your condition as hereditary, I urge you to think twice. Although you may be predisposed to develop arthritis in your hands or form a bunion on your big toe like your grandmother and your great-grandmother, it is quite likely that your ancestors were dealing with the same age-old challenge that you are dealing with today. And that challenge is scar tissue caused by damaged soft tissue. If you've been injured in any way, you have scar tissue. The first responder to any form of injury or inflammation in your soft tissue is called fibrin. Fibrin builds fibrous tissue, which we most commonly refer to as scar tissue. This is your body's internal band-aid. Scar tissue forms 4 different ways within your muscles, tendons, fascia, ligaments, and joints. Number 1, instantaneous tearing of soft tissue. This would be from any injury, direct blow to any part of your body, or an accident. Fibrin comes to the rescue immediately and continues to build as long as you are in pain. Painkillers and anti-inflammatories may fool you, but they won't fool your body's natural process. Muscles remaining over-contracted through exercise or an overuse activity will eventually become tense, lose oxygen as blood supply is limited, then shorten, causing micro-tearing within the muscle itself, and eventually in the tendons where the muscle is attached to the bones. This gradual tearing still calls for scar tissue formation and happens behind the scenes without you even knowing. This is the most common way scar tissue is formed. Number 3, gradual buildup of crystallized acid. Research shows you are what you eat and you are what you think. Your unhealthy physical and mental diet will cause acidity throughout your entire body. This crystallizes within your joints and muscles, leading to inflammation and pain. Another contributing factor to gradual buildup of crystallized acid is adrenal fatigue and hormone imbalance. I recently experienced painful joints and soft tissue due to these imbalances and was able to immediately relieve all my symptoms taking natural supplements. Scar tissue also forms as a result of surgery. Note that we are not discussing scar tissue which forms on skin to repair it. Scar tissue will form internally around areas that have been operated on, which may contribute to a slower healing process or post-surgery pain, limiting range of motion of the soft tissue or joint. Bottle therapy can be used as a pre- and post-surgery treatment. Now imagine that every muscle, tendon, and ligament in your body from head to toe is a bungee cord. When scar tissue is formed, it's like tying a knot in a bungee cord, with each knot making the cord shorter and shorter until it is unable to reach from point A to point B. Let's use the knee joint as an example. The quadricep and calf are two leg muscles that, if bound and shortened by scar tissue, will pull on and aggravate your knee joint, causing the buildup of acid in the joint. Acid causes inflammation and gradually eats away at cartilage. This leads to permanent damage of the knee joint. The continual shortening of these muscles also causes the tendons to tear. If you don't effectively break down scar tissue right away in the quad and calf muscles and their attachment points, which are your tendons, you could be on the path to developing a chronic knee condition such as bursitis, tendinitis, or arthritis. Shortened muscles left untreated run the risk of placing your ACL and your MCL, ligaments that connect your bones at the knee joint, in a vulnerable state of being stretched to the max. I do believe that many ligament tears and weaknesses of the joints are preventable for this very reason. Of course, not all tears are avoidable. When receiving extreme impact, twisting, or rapid growth spurts during puberty. Similar to the knee joint, scar tissue can hold any other joint in your body hostage. Short muscles and tendons can cause enlarged joints and bulging discs. Breaking down the scar tissue brings length and sets joints free from this tug-of-war effect. When scar tissue sets in, it begins to irritate the fascia, causing a buildup of acidity. This acidity then crystallizes and forms adhesive bonds within your fascia, restricting your muscle performance. When pain persists, these sticky adhesions begin to act like zip ties, binding the muscle. Fibrous tissue will cause muscles to appear weak and may lead to muscle atrophy until they are released. The good news is that bottle therapy treatments act like scissors and cut the zip ties off, allowing the muscle to become strong almost immediately. Let's review. Number 1, remember bungee cords and zip ties. The long and short of it is, you need to lengthen your body's bungee cords by untying the knots and cutting off those zip ties, which are shortening and binding your muscles. Number 2, remember never to ignore the effects of those knots and zip ties. As long as you're experiencing pain and inflammation or random annoying symptoms, your body is still sending fibrin to the rescue, which is the protein that builds fibrous tissue. This fibrous mesh continues to take over more and more until you wake up one day and a joint or a muscle is seized up. Remember that dysfunctional tissue breeds more dysfunctional tissue, either above it or below it. How do you put an end to this vicious cycle? Start bottling. Follow the 2-minute pain fix and become the boss of your muscles, because the muscles are the boss of the bones. This completes part 1 of the 2-minute pain fix series. In part 2, I will explain how to use bottle therapy and elbow therapy to safely and effectively break down scar tissue and adhesions in the fascia. I'm Joanna Chase, and I hope you join me in living pain-free every day.